Welcome everyone to Planet of NY Sports. Here we talk Yankees, Mets, Giants, Jets, and a little bit of the Knicks and Nets. So today we have for you an off-season video, off-season grades, what we expected coming into the off-season versus what we got, especially in the Mets' case. So Roderick, I'm going to let you start off. Go ahead, take it away.
All right, the Mets. What we expected were guys like, or names like Yamamoto, Soto, Snell, Montgomery, maybe even a Chapman. But what did we get? I'm gonna cry. Adrian Hauser, Luis Severino, Jake Diekman. That's on your screen. Shintaro Fujinami, Tyrone Taylor, Harrison Bader, Joey Wendell, and I guess we can throw in Austin Adams. Those are my notes.
All right. So, Roderick, just off the bat here, okay. So, obviously, you already gave me the expectations versus reality. And, wow, that is really bad. Okay. So, I'm just going to preface this with saying I'm not going to hate on the Mets in any way here. I actually think their offseason wasn't horrible, but I originally was going to give them a B. But then, before I was talking to Roderick, and then I was like, wait a minute. What did we expect the Mets to at least do? We expected them to get one of the top starting pitchers in free agency. Did they do that? No. They missed out on Yamamoto. But I can't – here's the thing about Yamamoto. I can't really fault them too much because it sounded like as long as Ohtani was going to go to the Dodgers, he was most likely always going to end up there. I don't know how seriously he took the Yankees, and definitely the Mets and like just New York in general. I really felt like he may have always been going possibly to the West Coast with Ohtani. So I can't fault them too much, but they upgraded the bullpen. I actually like the Mets bullpen this year. I'm going to say that is one of the positives of the offseason. I like the Mets bullpen. The lineup, as long as the lineup could, kind of actually, I just realized Pete Alonso. We didn't extend Pete Alonso. Okay, so now I'm going to have to bump them down a little more because that was something. Did we discuss that? Did we discuss that in like a video or saying like, oh, they should re-sign Pete this offseason?
Probably did.
Yeah. So they didn't do that, obviously. Is Pete a Scott Boras client?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Can't really fault them then too much. But see, the Mets, like I said, we expected a lot more from the Mets this offseason. We say it all the time, richest owner in baseball. Daddy Cohen now, Uncle Stevie, blah, blah, blah. Dude, I'm getting it. I'm not putting him on like, obviously there's no hot seat for an owner, but just in like the general consensus of Met fans, Roderick, where would you place that right now at Steve Cohen?
What's the word? The hypothetical seat is warming up, 100%. Like I've seen many posts and articles talking about his tenure as the owner so far, and it's just as to what we were promised, we haven't gotten any of it. We've gotten one playoff win and one appearance. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't help when you're also paying the salary of. Is he paying both Verlander and Scherzer?
Yep, that's 50 million on the books right there.
Yeah, that's not good at all.
Wait, hold on. Let me just say this. I'm not mad because this is supposed to be the retool year, and we got good prospects, and we got a lot more than I thought we were gonna get for it. But I mean, that does show where our money's been going to. Like, not going to the right places.
Because didn't he have was it like a 5-year plan or something when he came in?
Yeah, we were supposed to be perennial World Series contenders by now, and I've already had one. And last time I checked, we had neither of those. So, yeah.
Yeah, and they haven't even got to the NODS yet. So that really does concern me. Now, with that being said, I do think, and we'll obviously cover this later, like in a later video. But I think the Mets could, sneak into the wild card. I think that is definitely possible when you look at the NL. I think they could. A lot's going to have to go right, though. One of the issues with the Mets is the rotation. Roderick, do you want to just talk about the the state of the Mets rotation right now?
On paper, and everybody prepare to laugh when I say this, Jose Quintana is our opening day starter. Jose Quintana is the Mets opening day starter. 2024. Which you haven't even mentioned yet. Cody Isiah is going to start the season on the IL. But it's neither here nor there. The rotation right now, it has young guys, it has old guys, it has veterans, it has bounce back candidates. It's just if everything goes right, like Russell said, if Severino bounces back, if Hauser kind of shapes into form, if McGill and if he can kind of recapture what he had in 2022, and if Jose Quintana cannot throw 92 miles an hour, we might have a chance. Might. But on paper, as it looks, the rotation is definitely a weakness. And like we said in the offseason video, or the offseason wish list video, the Mets need to get a top line starting pitcher like a Yamamoto, like a Snow, like a Montgomery even. And we didn't do that. So the rotation worries me, but I'm also faintly optimistic on what it could be because Severino, yes, he had a down year, but he has looked good in live. I've been hearing good things about him. Same thing with what's his name? Hauser. He looked good in his first spring training start the other day. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
I hate you. I hate you.
How hard? Okay, so Roderick. Okay, Roderick. I have one question. I have one question for you. Is that your brother Roderick?
Yeah, that was.
Okay.
Second appearance.
Do you know how hard? Pause. Do you know how hard Severino has been thrown?
Severino has been mid-90s.
Yeah. Okay. How is his fastball? How has his fastball looked?
His fastball's looked. It has some life on it. I think the key with Severino is command and staying healthy. If he can, and we have Jeremy Heffern's one of the best pitching coaches in the league in my mind. If he can command the zone, command his off speed, stay inside the hands of right-handed hit. I know I'm talking about baseball because I'm not even talking about like him as a person. I'm talking about legitimate baseball. But like, if he can control his fastball, have a consistent off-speed pitch that he can go to, he'll be fine.
Now, here's the thing with him. That is a big ask, as we've seen in recent years with Severino. Obviously, I would know. I'm a Yankee fan. I ranted about the guy for months last season. But I like rooting for him. He's a good guy. But Severino is a bit of a tricky one. Like I said, he could bounce back. Roderick said that, his fastball does have some life on it now. Last season it had no life and it was getting killed all year. I remember that one game against the Orioles where it was really bad. You look at the rest of the Mets rotation, obviously, Cody Senga starting the year on the IL. I mean, here's what I'm going to say, though. This is just a question for people that could possibly be wondering about it because I'm going to say the same thing with the Yankees. Could you still possibly, or would you still sign, a Montgomery or Snell as they are still free agents right now?
And my response to that would be there was a report that the Mets had taken a look at a guy like Mike Lorenzen, who not a top line starter, but certainly a middle of the rotation guy who can pitch like a top line starter. They looked at him in terms of if another guy goes down, would you be there? Not as we need you right now. We have to get you now. So would they? Probably not, unless somebody else went down with injury. But in my mind, a guy like Montgomery or Snell, at this point, whatever they're getting, if you can get them on like a 1 or 2 year deal, I don't know why they wouldn't do it. But I'm not David Stern, so.
All right. Now, moving on to the team that, well, I'm just going to say it, had the better offseason. That is the New York Yankees. All right, let's talk about it. So for key additions, Caleb Ferguson, Victor Gonzalez, Trent Grisham, Cody Morris, I'm not even going to talk about those guys. Marcus Stroman, Verdugo, Luke Weaver, Yankee legend. And of course, some guy named Juan Soto.
I hate it.
Yeah, so, that guy. Juan Soto. But in seriousness, what can I say? Brian Cashman, I have killed you since the start of this channel. I am not going to be quick, though, to fully get on my knees, and I'm going to pause right there. But I'm going to give credit where credit is due. You got a top, where would you rank Soto? He's a top 3 hitter in baseball, top 10 player in baseball. I am excited. But I am also going to be cautiously optimistic about the Yankees. Because as we've seen with the Yankees, injuries, guys not performing, a lot can go wrong. But I will show a little bit more of optimism here. Rodon could possibly bounce back. He looks better. He has lost weight. Hopefully his mind is right and he's not getting mad at fans booing him and flipping off people and blah, blah, blah. Stroman. Obviously, we know how Stroman felt about when we didn't trade for him a few years ago. But the guy has always wanted to be a Yankee. He's always wanted to be a Yankee. Roderick, give me your take on the Yankees offseason.
It was cool, I guess. I don't know. They did things. They made moves. I guess. All right. Let me give an actual analysis. The one gripe we've had about the Yankees for a while now is it didn't sign guys like Bryce Harper and people like him or Corey Seager. And the thing that they have in common is the lefty swing in Yankee Stadium. For the past years, the Yankees have been a righty-heavy lineup. Guys like Judge, Stanton, Torres, and LeMahieu. Yes, they're good players, but they're not built for Yankee Stadium. Me and Russell can hit a home run in Yankee Stadium in the right field. So getting a guy like Juan Soto, getting a guy like Alex Verdugo, that's going to help your offensive output. Also, these are guys who can hit for contact. Another thing I've been talking about, they don't hit for contact, they strike out all the time. But now you got 2 guys who are going to be at the top of the order, most likely, getting on base, hitting for contact, walking, and I guess they had a good offseason.
I know it pains you. I know it just pains you to say.
You're not going to win anything, though. So it's like, okay, cool, don't care. You're not winning anything. So I don't know. Have fun. Wait till the predictions video comes out. That's all.
Yeah, in terms of winning anything, like I said, I'm still kind of on the fence because, like I said, the main thing that probably concerns me, and because when you look at the Yankees, the lineup doesn't really concern me as long as they stay healthy, and they got some good bench pieces. They got a guy like Trent Grisham, and his defensively, he besides the one wild card game, a few years ago, defensively he should play well. Obviously, can't hit though, so that is a little but he's not going to be playing every day, so it's fine. Now, though, like I said, the one thing that concerns me is starting pitching. It concerns me in this way. We're going to have to bank on a guy like Rodon now to really bounce back. He's going to really have to bounce back, especially we can talk about Blake Snell. Blake Snell is not going to the Yankees. I'm just going to preface that right now. Blake Snell is not. And if he's I am willing to guarantee Blake Snell. Well, actually, no, I'm not going to do that because then I'm going to say that, and then we're going to be here next week, and Blake Snell, for some reason, is going to sign with the Yankees. So let me not say that. But I find it very hard to believe at this point that the Yankees are going to, spend for Blake Snell. He's already 31 years old. You got a guy like Corbin Burns, who's going to be who could be a free agent next year. You're already going to have to worry about Soto, Glaber. And like I said with Corbin Burns, I think apparently the Yankees would rather spend on Corbin Burns if he was available because he is younger and Snell is 31. I don't know if you're going to, like, Roger, how would you feel about paying for Blake Snell at this point?
The problem is, and as we've seen with teams not being willing to spend on him, is that he's an older guy who's had consistency issues. Like, okay, he had a Cy Young year in what was it, 2018, and he had one last year, but in between those years, he's had a lot of ups and downs. So it's not really financially smart to spend, give him a 4-year deal at X amount of money, and he doesn't perform. So at this point, if I'm the Yankees, I wouldn't do it because I just think that they just spent all that money on Rodon. They already have Cole. They already got Stroman. I wouldn't do it. But, I mean, spending on Snell at this point, if you can get him for like a 1 or 2 year deal at not too much money, obviously, like, I feel like that can only, not only, but it's an inherently good thing to do. Like, it probably wouldn't hurt as much as it could, reap benefits.
Now, here's the thing. I don't think that Scott Boras, obviously we all know about him, I don't think that Scott Boras wants to do that. As that is the case, as that's why Snell is still a free agent. You got Montgomery. I don't know what's going on with Montgomery. And then there's Chapman still available. There's guys still out there in free agency. Bellinger just got signed or re-signed with the Cubs. It has been a slow, very, very slow offseason. Now, just to move on here, we can give our grades and close out. So I will start off. I'm going to give the Yankees, I'm not going to give them an A+. I'll give them an A, an A-. I'll give them an A. They got one of the best players in baseball. You got Verdugo. You got some lefties. You got Stroman. Hopefully Rodon bounces back. So, yeah, I'm going to give the Yankees an A- as of right now because obviously we don't know how these are going to actually pan out. So for the Mets, I will give the Mets they filled out the bullpen nicely. I like that. The rotation, though, concerns me a lot. I'm going to give them a B, B-, something in that range. I wouldn't give them a C+, like I said. That bullpen is really helping them for me, and I can't fault them too much with the whole Yamamoto thing because it sounds like he was going to play with Ohtani no matter what. So I'm going to give the Mets a B, B-. All right, Roger, go ahead.
For the Yankees, I'm agree with Russell. I'll give him an A-. They got one of the best players in baseball. Got him at the starting pitcher. They've done what we've asked them to do for a while now. So give him an A, A-, whatever. For the Mets, I've tussled with this one because, like, looking at it on paper, because I have my notes over there, it's like it doesn't look pretty, and like especially what we were expected to get or expected to. Not we did go after them. We didn't get anybody. Like we didn't get any household names. So I'm gonna say C+. I can't give him a B. The bullpen, yes, they did a good job, but on paper, again, you signed a guy in Jake Deacon who had a 4.6, I think, last year. You signed Fujinami, who, yeah, he throws 117 billion miles an hour, but he had like a 7 last year. So, like, the bullpen, it is good. You get Diaz back, whatever. But I'm going to give them the C+. They shirt up the line. They shirt up the roster. I can't complain too much. I'll give them a C+, and we'll see what happens with this predictions video.
Yep. So now, if you could all do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, give me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. What grade would you give the Yankees? What grade would you give the Mets? We will have a video on our full MLB season predictions. Both of us were, I think, might have been very wrong last year with those because who had the Diamondbacks versus the Rangers? So let's be real here. Nobody.
I did have the Rangers. I'll tell you that.
Nobody had that on their bingo card. So if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you all in the next video.